This Wonderkid is amazing in Football Manager, but on top of that is one of the best prospects in Argentina when it comes to young footballers. And we know how good some of those Argentinians can turn out, yet somehow this Wonderkid is not spoken about enough in Football Manager. I barely hear anybody trying to sign him, so I took a look at him to see how he could develop after a few years, and trust me, I think you'll all be signing him after this video. Hello everyone, Jake here for FMSCOUT. Welcome to another episode of Wonderkids to Superstar, where we take a Wonderkid in FM, put them to the highest end of their potential range to see how good they might be in your save. And today's player is a real, true hidden gem, and I'm not saying hidden gem as in he's playing in like the 10th division of Argentina. He's just one that I think nobody is talking about, considering the players he's on a similar quality level to. You've probably heard of Alberto Malario, Oscar Glauc, and this player is on the same level of those when it comes to potential ability. Before we check him out though, if you guys could smash the like button to show your support and let me know down below in the comments who you'd like to see in these episodes next, that'll be awesome, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But let's go check him out, shall we? First thing to do, head over to the Argentinian divisions and go to the club known as River Plate. Now, if you go into their side and go to all players and filter by age, there's a good chance a lot of these guys are amazing, but the player that we're focusing on today is this man here, Claudio Echeverri. Now, he is a 16-year-old Argentinian with a hell of a lot of ability and also some great starting attributes. I've checked him out on 2 saves, one of which he looks like this, and in another save, he's got pretty much the same attributes. He's just not as good of a passer, but had 13 finishing, which was unreal. So yes, Claudio Echeverri here, definitely one to take a look at. He has a 140 to 170 potential range, and you might think he looks good now, but stick with me because I'm going to show you how we turn him in to an absolute superstar. Now, first thing to note, he can play a few different positions. His ideal position though is behind the striker. He is natural as a number 10 and actually wears the number 10 shirt for the Argentinian national team, so he's got some big boots to fill. Some great players have worn that number before, but yes, he looks like a phenomenal player, particularly technically, but also great flair and brilliant determination. Now, usually River will be valuing him anywhere between 3 million and 8 million pounds. In this save, we'll use the editor to bring him over for 6 million, but for about 5 million pounds or so on average, he's certainly worth it considering the talent that he has. Even on the lowest end of his range, he can be great, and I will show you how he can look. But first of all, let's bring him over to our Real Madrid side and show you how we're going to set him up for success. So, first thing to note, we're going to be running a 4-2-3-1 Gegenpress preset, and with no additional instructions, Echeverri is going to be playing as a shadow striker behind our forward on the attack duty. Now, he's not necessarily completely suited to shadow striker. I just think it's a role that he could do very well, but it looks like he could do a great job as your advanced playmaker, attacking midfielder, even an enganche, but he can kind of do it all at the same level. So I'm going to go for shadow striker just because it's my preference, but you guys could do whatever you want with him. In terms of the simulation, I'll be setting him up on shadow striker training, and that is all. If I was doing his individual training though, I'd be wanting to maybe get his finishing up, possibly his composure and his anticipation also. His physicals will grow with time, but you'll see in the save how good he can become. He does have some nice player traits as well to go alongside with his ability. We've got him being mentored by the likes of Modric and Benzema, so hopefully he can learn a lot from them. But now that he's set up, he's in a Real Madrid shirt, we're going to forward ahead a few years to see how he might look on the lower end of that potential range. Okay, the year is 2025, and currently Echeverri here has been playing as often as possible in our Real Madrid team, and he has developed well, but it should be noted currently he is still below that 140 current ability mark, which would be his lowest possible potential in your save. So even if you got the worst version possible of Echeverri, he's still going to look better than the player you're seeing here. And remember, we only paid 5 million pounds or so for this player. Physically, he's really started to develop. There's not too much he's lacking. He's still got great acceleration and pace. Everything else, though, has developed over time. Mentally, he's got good composure and decision making. His off-the-ball work's got better, as has his vision and his anticipation, but technically is where he really shines, with great crossing, dribbling, finishing, first touch, free kicks, long shots, passing, and technique. Everything he needs to play that shadow striker role, he can actually do very well now. And over time, you will see these attributes really blossom, but remember, this is not him him at his best by no means. It's not even him at his worst. But in terms of his on-the-pitch performances, first year, straight away at the age of 16, he gets 13 assists and 3 goals. The year after, he blows everyone away. Still gets 13 assists, but adds 14 goals to the mix as well. And then this year, he hasn't played as much, but his average match rating is still very high. So this is Echeverri at nowhere near his worst, but now let's see him at his incredible, incredible best. And we are here in 2031, about 10 years on now. Prepare yourself for how good Echeverri looks. There's a little hint for you, considered a 4.5-star player at Real Madrid already. And here are his attributes. And I'll let you settle in and take a look at them for a second, whilst I'll let you know I do have my own channel linked in the description. If you want to come check that out, we highlight other hidden wonder kids like this in YouTube Shorts, as well as some Let's Play series of Football Manager and some rebuilds. So I'd really appreciate if you come over, hit the subscribe button and check that content out. But let's check out Claudio here, shall we? He's now 25 years of age with 41 Argentina caps and 9 Argentina goals. He has some great physical attributes, the natural fitness, the pace, the agility, the acceleration. On top of that, he's a brilliant passer, 15 passing, 16 vision and 17 technique. Good long shots and great off the ball work now. His decision making, composure and anticipation has gone through the roof, particularly that decision making. I imagine our assistant has changed his training to be focusing in on that final third duty based on the amount that decision making has gone up. The first touch is insane. The dribbling is awesome. He's great at set pieces and he can finish well. He could play pretty much any position along the forward line well, even straight up as a striker. Echeverri here could be very dangerous. He's a brilliant player. He's got loads of pros in his coach report, but has he been doing well on the pitch? Valued at £100 million now. The answer is yes. After you saw him last, he goes on to have a great season, 13 goals and 14 assists, and he hit those kind of numbers for quite a while, consistently doing great until this year where he goes, you know what, let's turn it up a notch, gets 8 goals and 21 assists, and then after that, he never looked back. 14 goals, 19 assists, and then 21 goals, 25 assists in the league alone, ending up with a 7.88 average match rating. That's incredible in my opinion, particularly when you think he is a number 10, and in FM terms, number 10s always for me don't seem to get that great average match ratings, so to see Echeverri here doing so well goes to show just how good he can be. He's a phenomenal player, but I do have a simulation at the end of his career, so let's see how well he did there. And the answer is very, very well. He never had a season as good as the one we just mentioned, but he does still hit 20-30 goal contributions a season for the next 5 or 6 years. Then he starts to get a bit older. He knocks it down to a reasonable 20-25 goal contributions a season, and is still getting that now, even at the age of 34. 97 Argentina appearances, 35 goals. He's been insane across the course of this simulation, just absolutely dominating the in-game engine. In terms of his valuation compared to what he can be, he's certainly worth going for. Even at the worst end of that potential range, you saw how much he could potentially be valued at. And if you get him at his best, he is going to be one of the most mercurial talents in world football. Considering how good he is at the age of 16, it surprises me not many people are talking about him just yet, but I'm sure they will be soon. Argentina's young number 10. Is he going to be the next Messi or Maradona? Probably not, but he is definitely going to be an elite level talent, and he's one that's worth signing in your save. So there you go. I'm giving him a 10 out of 10, a brilliant player behind the striker, one of the best options in that position. If you did enjoy the video, smash the like button, let me know who you want to see next, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.